也呈现了蔓延的趋势啊，每3秒钟就有一个患者被诊断出阿尔兹海默症。
So this is a modeled example of disease modification, and Dr. Zhao hit this in much more scientific accuracy than I'm going to present.
这个是这个疾病的一个变动啊，刚才肖博士呢也已经在这方面给大家做了一个非常专业的介绍了。
It's important to note that the therapies that are available today are symptomatic therapies. They give about a 6-month cognitive enhancement for existing neurons, but they do not change the slope of the line because the underlying pathology is not impacted.
目前为止呢，大家可以看到认知性的方案有18个月的这个缓冲期。
And you can see that if you do have a disease-modifying therapy and you can actually change the slope of that line, the great impact that you can have over time if you start the drug early.
如果呢大家提早用药的话，你可以看到这个曲线将会不变得那么陡峭。
So this is how the impact could look in the United States, where the solid line is the current trajectory of Alzheimer's disease, and the dotted line is what would happen if we slowed the disease by just 5 years at the population level.
这个是美国的一张数据图啊，实线区呢是表示在没有进行用药的情况下，它这个疾病的这个会变得什么样，而虚线是用药之后能够进行的一些改进。
It's a difference of 12 million people having Alzheimer's disease versus 4 million people having Alzheimer's disease with just 5 years of slowing.
如果恰当用药的话，疾病的人数将从1200万减少到400万人。
So today's practice, patients are identified very, very late in the symptoms, but in fact the science is getting earlier and earlier and the healthcare system has not yet moved.
所以呢，现在目前为止啊，社会科学发展进步得非常快，但是呢，医疗系统、医疗体系却没有跟上科学的这个巨大的进步。
So this is an overview of normal aging on the yellow line.
这是一个概况，黄色曲线是正常的人们的衰老的这样一个状况。
And then the blue and red is what happens in the case of Alzheimer's disease.
而蓝色曲线和红色曲线是 AD 患者他们的衰老状况的一个曲线。
So if a patient has the courage to speak to his or her doctor about their concerns on the memory, the doctor will often say, "Let's wait and see."
如果一个患者能够鼓起勇气对医生说，我现在记忆力已经正在减退了，那么医生们经常会给他们的答复就是，那么我们再等一等看看会发生什么。
So what the doctor is waiting is to see what happens. If the patient lands here, then the doctor says it's Alzheimer's disease, because the doctor knows then that it is not normal aging.
所以医生在蓝色曲线的终端那一个时间段，他才会确诊说，你的病人已经患有了 AD 这个症状。
The challenge is that this is where you need to catch the patient, both for research and to ultimately benefit from a disease-modifying drug. So waiting to see is not the best thing for the patient.
所以目前我们现在面临的挑战就是能够让这个等待期能够缩小到无限小，这就是我们面临的挑战。
Dr. Zhao also mentioned already the ability to actually see amyloid plaques and tau tangles in the brain, and this is a living brain, which is a very important thing because we can actually diagnose Alzheimer's disease now in a living human being as opposed to having to wait for autopsy.
肖博士呢刚刚也提到了淀粉样这个蛋白斑的这个从肉眼分辨的状况，这个是一个非常重要的指标。
And why this is important is some of our early research has shown that we are wrong about 25% of the time in a clinical diagnosis, that in fact the patient that's been diagnosed with clinical symptoms does not actually have amyloid in the brain.
因为呢，目前的这个诊断有25%的误诊率，而这个病人这25%的病人他并没有淀粉样的蛋白斑。
So I'll close on this slide. I think it's important to notice that the patient journey is not smooth. First, the patient must be aware of their symptoms being something important to be concerned about.
这是我最后一张幻灯片啊。首先呢，我想说，整个的诊断一直到 最终的确诊，它